Legatus Emeritus Aldous the Genius, who myself as chair, Tabodi Dabe. And today we'll be having our farewell interview for our coach, Coach Chauke. We'll just get to know a bit about him and also try to get the experience he had within the team for the previous years and also try to get some of the experiences from the captain there, T. Okay, welcome. I'm just gonna let T and Coach introduce themselves. So we're firstly gonna start with T to introduce himself, and then we'll just go to Coach, and then after they've introduced themselves, then we'll just continue with the interview.
Thank you, Tabo. Thank you, Coach. My name is Dukam Luli, known as T. Plays forward for Legatum, and I'm the captain for Legatum. Thank you.
Thank you, T. You can just pass over the mic to Coach there.
Hello, guys. My name is Vuyani Chauke, and I've been the coach of Legatum FC for the past 2 to 3 seasons.
Yes, yeah. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for introducing yourselves. Just to for an icebreaker, I would just like to know, Coach, like, who's Coach Chauke? Just for you to give us a brief description, like Coach Chauke is from where and what.
Um, I'm from I wouldn't say a small town, but a town called Malamulele. But I can actually say I'm from Guyana because that's where most people assume people come from if you're coming from Limpopo. So I'm from Malamulele around Guyana.
Yeah. Okay, Coach. Thank you for that. With the first question, I just would like to know, Coach, like, how would you describe your journey coaching Legatum for the past 3 years, as you mentioned?
Um, all I can say is the journey has been a journey with mixed emotions because they've been very high highs
Yeah.
and very low lows. Like how I can put it is for the first 2 seasons, those were our high seasons in a way, and the last 2 seasons were the low lows we had in the journey. So I can say it's a journey that was characterized and defined by mixed emotions in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, we hear, Coach, when you speak about emotions and highs and lows. So I just want to know, like, what kind of challenges did you face coaching Legatum, and also how did you overcome those challenges?
The biggest challenge I can say I faced is the challenge of me being someone who has little words.
Yeah.
In a way, someone who's shy. So it was a very, very big challenge because even in the first session, I think in that session we had more than 35 players.
Yeah.
So being shy, having to conduct a session where there is more than 35 players, it was a very, very, very tough thing to do. And what made it was is the first match I coached was the match. I don't remember the team we were playing against, but it's the match means he got the red card. That was
Yeah.
actually the first match
Oh, yeah.
I
It was
coached where
against
Taro
Chauke.
came in as a sub.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it was in a way confusing in a way because it's the first match already. We are starting with a loss with a red card, so having to also manage those 30 something players. So yeah, it's been a tough journey, I won't lie. But all I can say is what helped me in that journey was having players like for instance Majosi, who in that first year was one of the most important players for the team. Also having the likes of Utah, who's been in a way a cornerstone for the team in the past 4 years. So I can say what helped me the most was the people who were around me in those most training sessions and matches.
Yeah, we hear, Coach, when you mention important people within the team, and also your shortcomings and how you dealt with them. So I just wanted to know, during it can be any season. I just want to know, like, which season do you feel like it was your proudest season or just moment in within the team where you felt like, nah, this one was the one.
Um, I can actually say it's 2 matches actually in the first season.
Yeah.
The match we played against Imperial when we considered first and then came on. I think it's T who scored. Was it T or who scored? Was it 2 goals or one?
I don't actually remember, but I remember. Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
scored
it's
two.
that match. I think if Imperial had won that match, they would have won the league if they had won that match.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah,
it's
I
the
remember.
season we only lost to Infinity, both in the league and in the final year, yeah, KFL.
Yeah.
So that's a match I always look at, even when now that I'm no longer coaching. It's a match where I sit down and I'm like, there were times where it was actually a good thing being part of Legatum. I'm not saying that there was a time where it was a bad thing, but
Yeah.
those are the highlights I'll always walk with everywhere I go. Bro. We once beat a team that no one else on campus was courageous enough to beat. So yeah, that's the moment for me.
Okay, coach. That's a really nice moment. I also remember it that day when we played against Imperial, which at the time it was very dominant, and yeah, they had an incredible season. So I just wanted to know when it comes to philosophy and leadership, coach. I just wanted to know like what did you feel like uh made Legatum unique from other teams in the KFL?
Um, what I can say was different, or that Legatum did different. We were courageous enough to try different things. Because even if you had to go back to that first season, we're actually one, if not the only team that actually played with the back three. So even in the matches that we played, I doubt that there are many teams, even in the last 5 to 10 years, that KFL that played the whole season conceding less than 5 goals. So that all came from us being courageous enough to say, "Guri, let us try to do something different." We didn't score as many goals, but at the same time, we also weren't conceding much. So I think us being courageous enough to say, at that time, it was our debut season in the KFL. So in a way, we understood that we didn't really have much to lose because it was just that first season. So I think that's what gave us that fear factor in a way to say, "Guri, we literally have nothing to lose, but if we are courageous enough, we can actually do do something, achieve something," and we actually did something. When number two that season went to the final and lost penalties, so against the team that won the league. So that was definitely uh, a way to be courageous.
Okay, coach. For now, can we just move to T? I just want to get his experience in terms of the journey that he had with you as a coach. I just want to know T, like what will you always remember when it comes to Coach Chauke? Like, what's that one thing that always comes to your mind when we mention Coach Chauke?
Mm, okay. I think for me, it's kind of obvious with every player. I think everyone has that thing about Coach Chauke. You have to fight for your space in the team. Like he'll definitely make you know, Hore, you have to fight for your team. You have to fight for your sport. Otherwise, you'll keep on coming to training and you won't even play. That's the only thing I'll definitely remember him with.
Okay, that's incredible. I also remember that when we first started, like you mentioned, coach, that we had the something players, so it was very difficult at that time because everyone from that team, I believe, was talented enough to be able to be a starter in the team. So I just want to get T from your side. What was your first reaction? Because I remember when we first started training during that time, coach only arrived. I think it was a week after we started our training. That's when he was introduced to the team by um, our captain at the time and our RC at the time, which was Majosi. So I just want to know, like, what was your first reaction when you saw coach?
Okay, the first time coach came to training, obviously I think everyone has a reaction,
Yeah.
and I have to be honest with my reaction. I was a kid, I was a first year, so I was like, okay, we moved on from Majosi to him. Majosi was a player, and now we have a coach. It's gonna be hard because with the player, he's a player. He talks to you. He comes and talks to you and say, "Okay, we're gonna play. We're gonna do this." As a coach, he tells everyone, "You have to listen." So I have to say, I was scared of him. So when I saw him, I was like, "Hey, now it's gonna be difficult." Because
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, yeah. I get that you were scared at the time. So I just wanted to know, throughout that journey, you had your first reaction. I think it was 3 years ago. So now I just want to know, like, what do you feel like you took or you learned from the coach during that time, and what's your reaction now since you got used to the coach, you got exposed to his philosophy and everything and methodology, the way of doing things. I just want to know, like, what's your reaction now, and also what have you learned from the coach?
About the coach, uh, we know him as a person who doesn't talk too much.
Mm,
So when he talks, you have to listen.
yeah.
So there were things he used to show or send us before the game or before training session. If you come to training without Osadi Shebelo, without watching them,
Mm,
you'll definitely be lost in training. So that's the first thing I've took from him. If people who don't talk too much
mm,
talk, you have to listen.
yeah.
So I have to talk. We have to listen to him. And secondly, in terms of fighting, now I think that's something that's in me. I always fight, even though I think I don't have to, but I have to fight. I have to fight to prove I deserve to play because
Yeah.
he showed that. He showed that even the second season, the second of his season, where I think I had 2 goals and no 3 goals in 2 games, and the next game he benched me, and we still won the game. So it's like, okay, you keep on, you still have to fight. Because in training I was I just came as that guy. I'm gonna play, but now
Yeah.
he didn't play me, so I have to fight.
Okay. Yeah, from your answers, what I'm getting is that what you actually learned from coach is that you learned how to be consistent and also be able to fight for your place within the team. So yeah, I think we can just move on to coach right now, because I still have some few questions that I want to ask coach. Um, still on the topic of advice and legacy. I just want to know, coach, what what message would you like to leave for the team?
Um, it definitely will be to remember who Legatum is in a way.
Yeah.
One thing that made me proud to be a member of Legatum and coach Legatum was we were always different from how other things were. We'll get to the pitch, teams are busy kicking us, teams are still trying to fight us, and we'll just find a way to not go down to that level, but to actually remain as Legatum and what actually defines Legatum. So I think for the team, especially going into next season, we need to remember who we are. Going into each and every match, understanding that we are Legatum and we do things differently in a way.
Yeah.
That's what I can say to remember who Legatum is and what it means to go in the pitch and say you are playing for Legatum.
Okay, okay, coach. I'm sure the team will get that advice when they watch the interview. So now I'm just gonna go through some of the last questions before we go into those fun questions where we ask things like your best lineups and what and what. So for now, I just to get a personal reflection, I just want to know, coach, like which player or moment you felt that it had a bigger impact on your personality as a coach, or on you personally, not personality to say, like which player that you feel like it was important, or a moment that you felt like it had a bigger impact on you personally within your coaching journey in Legatum.
Um, I think it would have to be the match against Armenta. Last season, yeah, Armenta, I think we
Oh
won.
yeah, I remember.
I think it was it 5-2, if not 5-4 something.
Yeah, yeah.
In that match, it actually, in a way, for me, it's the match that actually paved that whole season for us because in that match, and I think that was our highest scoring match that whole season. That's the only match we scored more than I think 4 goals. So for me, it actually showed me that we can actually take take the league by storm in a way. We can actually because in a way no one knew what to expect from Legatum that season.
Mm.
So that match it actually showed me that we can actually do anything we want to achieve in the league. scoring goals, being able to defend. And the fun thing was that the goals we considered, it wasn't goals that you will say they actually deserved, but it was just like it was the theme of our season, making mistakes and everything. Besides that, there was nothing that they did to trouble us that much. So yeah, that's what I can say.
Okay, coach. I remember that. I remember that match really well. I think it was a match where we also were struggling with goalkeepers because
Yeah.
we used to have Nation as our goalkeeper during that session. That season. That's why most of our. I remember even the match against Tolopili. It was 5-4. It was a thing of if a team scores 3 goals, you have to score four just to win the game. But yeah, that season it was a very special one because I think it was our second season after the first one, so the
Yeah.
team had more experience. So I just wanted to know, like, how did your time with the football team shaped you as a coach and as a person?
Um, as a person, it taught me to be more social in a way. Like I said, I wouldn't say very shy, but I'm in a way very quiet.
Yeah, yeah.
So being a coach and being quiet, it's things that you wouldn't normally expect to see, because as a coach you need to be vocal, you need to be talkative, and which means you also need to socialize with your players so that you understand them on a different level than them just being players at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I think as a person I can say Corey, it in a way forced me to become social and everything. And as a coach, it taught me to listen more, because there are some players who in a way will talk but not directly, so you will hear that this person is trying to say something but they don't just want to say it clearly and out there. But it taught me to be more, to pay more attention in a way, to listen, look at everything the players are doing, how they handle themselves in training, in matches, how they react to certain situations. So if you are not someone who listens and pays attention, those are things I'm definitely not going to notice. So that's one of the things that it taught me as a coach, to say, "Gore, pay attention even when those people are not playing football. What are they saying? How are they saying it? Because that helps you understand how they actually view the game when they're playing."
Oh, okay, coach. Uh, I just want to know, like, what's that one thing you will miss most? It can be not even one thing, but you can just generalize, like, what would you miss most about the team, and also how would you like to be remembered by the team?
One thing that I would miss, it's those pre-training. I wouldn't say talks, because normally it's you dissing other people and everything, but those little moments we had before training sessions where people are just laughing and everything, taking your mind off academics and switching into that environment where you understand that, yeah, I'm just here to enjoy, here to have fun and everything. So that's definitely one thing that I would say I'll miss, having that moment to take your mind off everything, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's school, whether it's finances, and just focus on kicking that ball for that 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I'm definitely going to miss. One thing I would like to be remembered for, like she said, it's knowing when to talk and not when to talk. Because even in the most of the matches that we played, we normally lost our heads because we spoke when we didn't have to speak. So if you know when to speak, it helps you stay focused in a way. So that me being quiet in a way is one thing that I would like to be remembered for, to say Guri. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. Just observe and everything. Then when the time is right for you to speak, you can then speak.
Yeah, we'll definitely take that advice, coach, and also you'll be remembered that way within the team. Different people will have their own different perspectives on how they'll remember you, and also how they cherished every moment that they had with you within the team. So now I just want us to have those fun questions where we where we just ask the simple things, where we don't have to put emotions or what, where we
Yeah.
just want to have fun. So the first one that I'm gonna ask, coach, I just want to get your a lineup that you feel like it was your your best lineup within these 3 years, past 3 years you've been coaching within the team.
Ish,
Without any fear or bias, coach.
from the first season to this season.
Yeah,
Or-
it can be from the first season up until
So I have to name
even
every-
if your lineup is only based on your first season, it means that those are the players that you felt like at that time they were your best lineup. Because as a coach, you can coach a team for 3 years, but you always feel like, nah, man, that lineup in 2021 or 21 it was my best lineup. Or in that lineup, I can only add maybe let's say with our new players, maybe we can just add Boma. So okay, for me, I feel like he can also fit in that lineup that I feel like it was my best lineup.
to be honest, and even the results will attest to that. So far, there is no team that comes close to the Legatum year 2022 and 2023, if you are to be honest. All looking at paper and not looking on players. If we are to be honest, the players we had in the first 2 seasons, it's going to be hard to ever see a team that will have such players in a way. Looking from the keeper, from the defense, when we had Twaromens and Nation as the three center backs, having Tobeko and was playing on the left.
I was
Yeah, I think it was
oh
T.
T.
Yeah.
Yeah, T was the one playing on the left.
So if you are to look at those players and the way we changed, because if we are to look at our team for the past 2 years, we haven't had outright centre backs. Because even if we are to look at Besta came into the team as a midfield.
Yeah.
But they had to go play centre back because we lost Twaro, I think, and Menzi, and there was a season where Sabza Junior left also that season.
Yeah.
So he had to go play as a centre back. So we've been playing without centre backs for the past 2 seasons. So if it has to be the squad that 2021, 2022,
Yeah.
2021. That has to be the. I think we actually that team actually deserves a 4 to end the guys because what that team achieved, I doubt that there will be a team that will come close to that. So you have to look at it. I will use AI or something, but we need to get that picture in the guys.
Okay, coach. I think I still have some of the pictures from that time, that team about Sadi Yoruban. I think I still have the pictures from that time. Yeah. Okay. I just want to know now. Percy used to ask simple questions like who do you feel like was the fastest in the team? You see those kind of things. But with me, I feel like I'm just gonna try to be different from that one. So I just wanted to know like which team. I know there were different teams that you were fighting for the league with during those times, but which team do you feel like it was more of a challenge whenever you have to go face them? That it can be a different one, not necessarily the one that you're fighting for the league with, because you can have instances where you know that okay, whenever I play let's say for an example Kari, you know it's gonna be a challenge, even though they are not the part of the teams that you're fighting for the league with up there on the team. Like which team did you feel like whenever you have to go and face this one, hey, it was always difficult?
I think it will have to be. I think it has to be Villa,
Yeah.
and second to Villa, it has to be Kyalam because those are teams in. We always knew the matches were always going to be intense, even Imperial. While also looking at the atmosphere when the match was being played. Those were matches where you knew that you will always play with opposition fans on your necks. You knew if you are playing against Imperium, you don't just have to be prepared physically, but also mentally to understand what people are going to say a lot of things to me throughout the whole match if I'm playing from first to last minute. So even as a coach, when you are playing and fans are singing that loud or talking whatever they say, you look at your team on the pitch that doing some other things, you are bound to shake and say, Ish, hopefully we don't concede more than 2 goals because that was the greatest fear I had. If we are to concede more than 2 goals, how are we going to react? Because that's something we hardly experience as a team.
Yeah.
So playing against such teams, and you knew those were teams, especially Kailam, for close to 2 to 3 seasons. they have had one of the best squads on campus.
Yeah.
So playing against them, you always knew that the tempo of the match is going to be very high. As much as they really didn't beat us as much as we beat them in those years, but you always knew those are matches where it's going to be tough in that match from the first up until the last whistle.
Yeah.
Also looking at the fact that we train to Kala each and every week. Friday we are playing them, so it was also in a way tricky. So Kailam and Villa and Imperium, those have to be the teams that always gave me sleepless nights in a way.
Okay, coach.
Yeah.
From the same question that I asked coach, I just wanted to know which teams do you felt like, or team you felt like whenever you have to go and play this one, it was always a challenge.
I think you already answered the first one, Villa. You
Yeah.
all know Villa. It always has had those defenders, man. Those strong defenders, tall defenders. Even now, they still have one. So I'll count Villa. And from my experience, I've never won a game against Villa. The last time we won a game, I broke my arm and Yalo won a game. Then after that, I never won a game against Villa. And then Kailami. Yeah, Kailami, because it's a derby and our fans come and they want us to perform. They make sure they come if it's Kailami. They do come for other games, but for Kailami, they do come. So we have to perform. So it's only Villa and Kailami. Imperium, so the coach, but nah.
Okay, G. Yeah. I also feel like Villa was always a challenging match, but I thought you guys were gonna mention teams like Bears, because those ones. It was always because I in our first season, I don't think we won a game against Bears that season. Remember, the reason why we dropped points in that season also is because we drew a match against them. But I guess you guys have different opinions when it comes to which teams you felt like.
The thing with Bears, we only played one professional match with them.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's the
remember.
last season they played KFL.
Oh yeah.
Same as Armenta. I think we don't have more than 2 matches against those teams. I think those are the only teams on the field. So that's why there weren't really much of a challenge, because if it was in the friendly, we wouldn't play them when it goes to the other side. So at least with Kalamuni, each and every season, you're going to play against them. Villa, Imperium, they've been out for a minute, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get your point, coach. I just want to know, like, back to Coach T, because this one I don't think you'll be able to answer because you're also part of part of the players. I just wanted to know which you can have your top 3 or top 5, coach, players that you feel like they were your best players during your time as a coach. Top 5 players, coach.
The first one has to be Majos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for everyone in the team,
Yeah,
if you are to
Majos,
look at
yeah.
Legatum, you see Majos, that's the first person you think of.
Yeah.
Number 2, it has to be Tswaro.
Mm.
Tswaro had
Best defender.
for quite some time, he was in a way one of the best players on the team. Looking at how he carried himself off the pitch, also on the pitch.
Yeah.
He made sure that each and every training session is always on time, always ready to train when the time comes. Even in matches, he will be one of the most vocal players on the pitch.
Yeah.
Doesn't care who you are. There were even matches where he was shouting at me, "Hey, coach, the players are bringing in are playing nonsense on the pitch." So those are the kind of players I think most teams need. The player who's not even afraid to talk to, even if it's the captain for the past 5 years, to tell him, my man, what you're playing is nonsense. So I think he has to be in that top 5. Number 3, it's Nation. Nation, for me, is one of the quietest players in the team. It's just these days because apparently he's a or something, according to Tau. But
Yeah, we
for
get
the
you,
past
coach.
for the first few seasons, Nation was one of the quietest players on the pitch, but he was always one of the best players on the pitch.
Yeah.
So he is one of those players, even though that he's resigning. I don't know what is trying to happen, but he is one of those players who, if we were to talk about Legatum, he's always going to be in that conversation to say, there were players, and one of those players was Niche. He's been part of Legatum from through those highs and through those lows, and he has never in any match felt demotivated. Even if we lose, he's always the one who's now trying to pick up the other players.
Yeah.
So his character is one of those players who each and every team needs. Number 4 has to be the young man next to me. Like T said, he's one of those players who first season he really didn't have a lot of opportunities to play. Like we said, we had a lot of players that season, and we were playing in a system or formation that really didn't allow us to have each and every player playing and everything. But in each and every opportunity that T came on to play, he will not sulk. That's one thing that I think set him up. That's why most of the players he sat on on the bench that first season, they were not with us the second season.
Yeah.
If you had to look, remember most of the players who mostly were on the bench. They were not with us the second season. As much as even if some of them played more minutes than him, but I don't know what the team promised him or anything, but he stayed a member of the team even in those times where, as a player, you will have said, nah, I'm not even getting paid for this. Let me just go. But he's been there since he's been through it all. Being on the bench, he's been a starter, he's been injured, he's been everything. And all in the name for the team.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah. Then the last one, I'll say it has to be you, Tao, because but taking over from Majosi when Majosi left, it was one of the hardest things to fill up, if shoes to fill up. Because Majosi was more than just a player in the team. I can say he was the leader anyway. So for you to come in after Majosi left, for you to stay even when we were facing relegation, when you didn't have to, you had RC duties and everything, but you made sure that even if we are losing, you are still coming to training. I think that's actually one of the reasons the team is still in KFL even this season. To say, if players have someone like that, to say, this person was with us when things were high, even when things got that low, this player also didn't lose. It didn't leave, which means this is someone we actually have to look up to and to actually learn from. So yeah, that's my top 5.
Okay, coach. I know that was a very difficult question comparing to the kind of players that you coached, because if you would try to pick let's say we call someone or we ask T now for his top 5 players, I don't think it'll still be the same as yours, because we had a lot of quality back then. We had your anytime goal scorer, KK. We had more TK. We had more Ntokzeni. Botire Bundovi was the best goalkeeper on campus during that time. We had Bokamu, like Bo Alex. There were just a lot of players. So I understand, coach, that one was a very tricky one. So yeah, coach. Thank you very much, coach, for taking your time to come for this interview. So I just want to give T an opportunity now to just say a few words of farewell to you, coach, since you were coaching for the past 2 years, and maybe he has something sentimental that he would want to say to you.
No, let me see. I think I wrote something down. I'll try to keep it short because that's what you did with me. You never said a lot. So, with whatever you're gonna do from now on until I think you should continue with the same energy, passion, and mentality you've been with us. So, thank you very much for opportunity and the words you gave us, even though they were little, but then they meant so much. So I wish you the best with everything you're gonna do, academically, financially, because you said there are problems financially and academically, and with whatever girlfriends, everything. I wish you the best. I hope you'll call me if you get married. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, T. From my side, it wouldn't be much, Coach. Like you said, that you were a man of actions rather than words. So I think what we've also learned from you is resilience and also discipline. Because even though you were not playing football, because I know for some coaches, one thing that keeps them within the team is that thing of saying, I know when I attend training, I'll also be able to play, do what I love, which is football. But with you, you did what you love, even though you were not playing, but you were always there for the team. It didn't matter if I remember there were times where you used to tell me, "Oh, I even skipped my class today just to come to training." So that really meant a lot, and it also showed that you are willing to sacrifice a lot for the team. So with that, not only for Legatum football team, but Legatum as a whole, would like to just thank you, coach, for what you have done for the team and also what you have started. Because for Legatum football to be where it's at, it's all because of what you did for the team, the efforts that you put there, the discipline, everything. So from me and Legatum as a whole, would like to thank you, coach. And then from a player's perspective, I would also like to thank you, coach, for what you have done for us as players. Because I think within all these teams, the only coach that was always consistent, it was always you, in terms of making sure that you are always there for the players. It didn't matter even if we had a game on Sunday. Some coaches, they start to lose that motivation. Even after, like you said, we had high highs and low lows. Even during those times when we were fighting for the league, you were always there. And then we got to a time, difficult times where we were fighting relegation. We lost a lot of players. Some of them graduated, and we had to try to integrate the first years within the team, which was a very stressful process and also one that's difficult because first of all you don't know how these players play, but you were always there trying to make sure that there are improvements within the team. You always put your effort, took your free time, make sure that you use it to learn a lot um, from watching matches, YouTube and what, to make sure that whatever that we do, it's something that's going to be productive and help the team going forward. So coach, I just with the last question, I just want to know like or before I ask you that question, I would also like to encourage you, coach, like moving forward from now, you should also try to get your coaching license and what. You shouldn't give up from coaching because even though you had this experience with Legato where you had higher highs and low lows, but it's something that you learn as a coach. And once you get to coach other teams going forward, even if it's not yet UFS, because I'm assuming that you're doing your final year this year. Wherever you might end up with your future endeavors, just continue coaching. Maybe you might find that you find yourself in the PSL or something, and then you get to maybe sign players like Boti, give them opportunities in big teams. So I would like to just give you those words of encouragement, Coach Roy. You shouldn't give up this coaching thing, and then you should also try to get your licenses and do more as a coach. So my final question will be, what's next for Coach Chauke moving forward?
Um, what's next moving forward is I'm going into ministry next year.
Yes.
So that's basically what's next because everything from next year going forward it has to do with ministry. So that's what's next, ministry.
Okay, Coach.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Coach, for giving us your time. Thank you so much, T, for availing yourself for this interview. And thank you so much to everyone who also took their time to watch this interview. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so that we can get more fans on our page because we try to monetize it. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much, gentlemen, for availing yourselves. We out. Phoenix.